Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is now officially week 11 and we are getting towards the end. It's actually the period where I start basically getting sad because I'm going to no longer have you as my students very soon. But at the same time, I get happy because I know we basically help you to go and progress your career into the field of information technology, finishing your degree and getting a future. And I'm very, very excited for that. And I really look forward to go and see all of you being able to go and get jobs, stay in Australia and have a great future if that is really what you would like to go and do. So today we're going to go and talk about the strategic management of IS Cuvadis. I'm going to go and remind you that you can go and speak to us. We have a consultation time that is available for you guys that is available. So please, if you need to go and speak to us, make sure you go and attend your consultation time that is available. Usually either before or after your webinar. It is all published on the Moodle site, so please feel free to go and look at the times that is available for consultation. I want to remind you all about copyright. And why am I reminding you now about copyright is because now that you've done the main assignments, we're going to have to go and talk about the other parts we need to go and do. And what these other parts are, we're going to go and talk about the final exam. Now, what I can tell you and promise you about the final exam is none of these questions that I've set up could be copy and pasted from anywhere. That is not how I set up my assignment. My assignments need you to go and demonstrate that you know about various things. You know the information, you know what we need you to do. And you can basically talk about things in your own words. So I will give you a bit of sample so that you're going to go and practice what needs to go and be done. But very, very simply, I go and tell you, it is very, very important in every assignment and now in the final exam, you do not copy and paste any information from anywhere. It is not allowed. End of story. No copying and no pasting is what I would like to go and see. We're going to recap from previous session. We basically spoke about creating and sustaining business change. And when I talk about sustaining all of this business change in the organization, I spoke about delivering all of these projects and delivering all of these services. So we get the project to deliver an outcome. And once that outcome is delivered, we make it as a service and we go and start working on delivering that service. We need to talk about the strategic management of information system and IT services and IT infrastructure. For example, we need to talk about what are we delivering? Is it usable by people? And are people perceiving it to go and be helpful to what they are trying to go and do? We speak about all of these various IS and IT service categories, the applications that are available within the organization, the value enabling services such as project management and business analysis that is available in the organization. We spoke about managing operational and value adding services. For example, we spoke about things such as customization. How much customization is a service that I'm delivering? And how much user involvement, how involved is the actual customer in trying to go and get access to that particular service. We spoke about strategies for managing IT infrastructure and infrastructure services. What do we do with them? How do we kind of manage that? All of these technology management strategies. We spoke about risk, and I told you risk is a very important topic that is really relevant, not simply in the management of projects and in information system and IT solutions, but also potentially for your final exam. That's something that I really encourage you to go and really look more at. We also spoke about sourcing of IS and IT resources and services and all of these options that are available. You can go and get it yourself. You can go and get it from the cloud. You can go and get business process outsourcing. You get your process externally for another company to go and do. But there are all of these options that are available, including business process outsourcing, where we basically outsource our processes that usually are complex processes, and we might not have the expertise. We go and outsource them so that other people are going to go and really work on them. We spoke about the importance of innovation. When I'm working with a partner, I need to make sure that they're still innovating. They're not going to go and say, no, we got this contract and we're not going to go and improve their services and be better to people. We're going to have to go and say, we need to go and really allow all of these improvements and innovation to our clients. And finally, we spoke about back sourcing. It's about bringing those services back in-house, for example, because the supplier is not innovating. For example, because they don't have the expertise that I need. For example, because technology that we need has changed and we don't need those people anymore. Oh, we spoke about switching suppliers. Let's get another supplier who can help me to go and get the job done. Possibly better than my other current supplier is currently doing it. So I try to do things better than them. Now, today I'm going to talk about the evolution of IS&IT strategy in theory and practice. We're going to talk about a brief resume of some core ideas relating to IS&IT strategy. We're going to talk about building an IS&IT or digital capability. We're going to talk from creating IS&IT assets to improving organizational performance. There's no point to create things if we're not really resulting in performance being improving at a particular point of time. So we need to kind of link everything together and making sure we are reaching the improvements that the client would like us to go and really reach. We talk about achieving alignment, a multi-team perspective. What do we need to do? We're going to talk about the co-evolution of business and digital strategies. As the business need changes, the digital strategy changes. They need to go and basically co-evolve and work with each other. We're going to talk about the opportunity for CIO to have a key strategic roles. What is their role? Their role should be much more than simply being an IT manager. Their role should be about how are they going to go and deliver change to the right people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about strategic information system planning. Okay, what is strategic information system planning? Well, we're talking about approaches that really look and recognize that IS and IT should really shape the business strategy. In other words, when I go and find a great IT opportunity that is available out there, or when I go and see that I already have some technology that is available within my organization, why don't I use that to be able to go and make new business if I already have the capability? So why don't I shape my business strategy to be able to go and reach the outcomes we would like to go and reach? We talk about IS strategy. It's now being promoted as a business management issue. It is not simply an IT thing. It is not simply about the CIO doing the job. It's about all the business coming together hand by hand and ensuring the job basically is being done. There is now a recognition that IT can provide opportunities. What can we do? We can do things differently. We can do business process reengineering, which is let's change the whole way in terms of how we operate, and let's try to go and get much more better outcome for our clients. Now, we cannot be successful if we're going to go and basically be inert, if we're not going to keep on changing. We need to be continuously ongoing change, ongoing dynamic capability needs to be something that is needed here, and we need to kind of get our business and IT and IS strategy to be always aligned and co-evolving by basically working all the way with each other. We talk about evolving IS and IT strategic influences. Well, the balance of influences on the nature of IS and IT strategy has changed, and it continues to go and change. What impact on that change all the time is actually changing. But simply speaking, if we think about money, money is one very important factor. Money has been a major cause of changes in focus and priorities. So it's about really looking how IS and IT and how the changes in the implementation of IS and IT are basically being implemented because of the financial benefit that the organization is able to go and really get. The stimuli for innovation and new entrants is another reason. We need to innovate. There's all of these people coming to the industry. There are companies merging together. There is company buying another company. All of these things, what are they doing? They're basically having an impact. Why are they having an impact? Because they're basically changing what we need to do in terms of IS and IT. So they're basically saying there is a need for us to continue evolving our IS and IT solutions accordingly to what's happening out there in the market for various benefits, such as let's go and innovate more, let's go and make basically things cheaper, and let's go and try to combat all of these changes in the market, such as the threat of all of these new entrants. Now, technology is now an essential enabler of basically most organizational strategies. Now, if we're going to go and use the best technologies, we will technically speaking, a lot of time be able to basically get the right outcome. You know, all of these technology changes, the technology ability to go and enable change in the organization, it's really leading us to basically have an alignment of business and IS and IT strategies. If we know that IT could go and make a change, if we know it could go and enable better business results, the only way where we are going to be benefit from those business results is if we are going to go and be looking at the alignment. If we're going to go and have a business outcome and business plans that are in alignment with how we are able to be using all of these new technology that is available. Technology can shape the business strategy, can provide opportunities that otherwise would not have been possible. Okay, and if we go and basically make things that would not have been possible otherwise, it's basically we are talking about things that are going to go and help us to go and be competitive in the marketplace and be potentially leader in the marketplace. When I talk about IS and IT based competitor activities, that's a great thing that basically impact on how we operate. New products and the arrival of new entrants, also another thing, they can have a significant impact on the organization and the markets in which they actually operate. We talk about digital innovation. It could be disruptive on the wall organizations or industries. For example, when you go and talk about the internet, we have a very great difference in terms of having Uber as a taxi drivers, in terms of having Spotify for the music, in terms of having hotels. I don't know what it's called, but you know, you have a website where people could go and book all of these hotels without really owning not even a single hotel. So you can see that all of these new changes that are basically occurring in the market have occurred because there is now an IS and IT change. There is an opportunity that we can go and use IS and IT in new ways for us to be able to go and really get a good outcome. We're disrupting the current industries. We're basically redefining how things need to go and be done anytime within the market. You think about, you know, IS and IT, how IT impacts on the business. This is a very, very important slide, guys. First of all, when I'm talking about building my digital capability, it's not simply I'm talking about building my digital capability in one area. I'm talking about different teams, different departments, and building their capability in their departments. For example, HR requirement for IS and IT is different than IT, is different than marketing, is different than sales, is different than engineering, is different than inventory management. So you think about all of those teams, they all need to go and really have the right resources in terms of person knowledge and skills, and have the right IS and IT competency, because by having all of these competencies across various departments, we are able to go and really deliver a digital capability for the whole organization. Now that digital capability, what is it about? It's about my IS contribution and it's about my IT capability. We need the right IT and we need the right contribution from an information system perspective. Now, how do we decide what IT capability we need or what information contribution we need? We need to look at the business strategy. What does the business really need to do? That will define to me what information I need and what IT capability I need. And once I know what IT capability I need, I go on supplying that IT. I go and, know what I need to supply. I deliver the solution relating to what I need to go and supply. And once I get that technological capability or the supply of the infrastructure, if you want, that deliver to me that solution, I can then use all of this technology that is available, and by using it, I can go and reach the right contribution that is needed for me to really deliver my business strategy. It's about really looking about all of these items and how they are all interrelated together to help us reach the right goals. Any questions, my friends? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to move on from creating an IS and IT assets to improving performance. There's no point to get any asset if we're not going to get an improved performance. So we are spending money on IS and IT. And the reason why, because we want to get an end, we want to get a better performance. In other words, the input I put in my business will help me to get the right output. If I put a poor input, I get a poor output. And if I put a good input, I get a good output. So we need to really think about what we're trying to do from that particular perspective. We make that expenditure on IS and IT, which help me to get the right digital assets, both the IT assets and both the actual complementary organizational resources and competencies that I'm going to go and do. Then what I do, this money and these assets that I bought, I use them. How do I use them? I use them through a process. A process means step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I follow a process of using those particular items. So I go and use them. And by using them, what happened? We try to get a digital impact. We try to get an improvement in business process performance. We try to get an improvement in terms of resources performance. In other words, how agile they are in terms of their ability to go and reach particular outcomes. And we talk about the speed of adaptation and change. We become also very good at changing as the environment changes accordingly in our organization. Now, when I have all of these improved digital impacts, what basically happened there? What happened is we are able to go and really improve our organizational performance, which is really a very important thing we're trying to go and do. If we don't improve our organizational performance, we won't basically go and get any outcome that we would like to go and do. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to go and achieve an alignment. You know, what is that alignment? We need to go and get an alignment in terms of various areas. We need to have an intellectual alignment. We need to have a social alignment. We need to have a cognitive alignment. What does that mean? Well, I need to have an intellectual alignment. What is that objective? Well, its objective is translating our business strategy into IS and IT requirements. We need to know this intellectually. We are deciding as a group what we need to go and really deliver for the business. And how do we decide? We have processes, analytics, tools and techniques, translation of various people's views, thinking together. And the primary focus there is we are trying to go and think about all of these information, system, and technology that is really needed within my business to get the job done. Then we talk about social alignment. What is that? It's about people. It's about bringing people together, bringing people, making accountable. You know, they have the knowledge. We want to make them accountable. We want to build relationship. We want to create the right governance structure where, for example, there's an IT steering committee that is going to be ensuring that whatever we're trying to go and do in terms of the intellectual IS and IT requirements is going to go and be driven towards getting the right outcomes and goals. We need to think about the cognitive part of things, the synthesis and integration of knowledge. Let's bring all of this knowledge from various people together and make it into one. We learn from each other. We learn from other departments. We share our understanding. We basically get to the stage where we have individualized knowledge to how do we go and have knowledge and know-how of how things need to go and really be happening for us to be able to go and really reach the right outcomes. Any questions, my friends? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very important theory to bear in mind is the co-evolutionary theory. What is that co-evolutionary theory? It talks about the dynamic view of processes, the dynamic view of all of these forces. There are things around me, things that are changing, things that basically see processes changing. The forces around me, the competition is changing. So what we need to do in terms of that, change that is happening all around us, we need to have a perspective that really appreciates that co-evolution of all of these digital strategies that we have available within the organization. If you go and think, for example, about I am working in an industry, in that industry. There are people in that industry that are doing things. They impact on me as a business. I need to go and create a co-evolution and change my strategies accordingly. Or sometimes the work that I'm doing might be redefining what competitors need to do. And the strategies, the digital strategies of my competitors will go and be changing accordingly because they see what I'm doing as really beneficial, that could really go and deliver the outcomes that we would like them to go and deliver. You look at all of these, IT within your organization. They are enabled by what? By all of these IT developments. But sometimes there are IT development that come, and these development, they basically change or provide me in opportunities that shape how I'm operating within the organization. I have to go and create a co-evolution of my internal practices because there are all of these IS and IT development that are available out there. IT, they will change the rule. The rule of what? They change the rule of what is available and what is possible out there. And as a result of all of these changes, all the competitors in law and industry says, well, there's now a new way for us to go and operating. What about if we change to be able to go and really reach the right goals from this particular thing that is now available? So it's about really looking at all of these various things that we can do to be able to go and reach the right goals. You need to think about the CIO, the Chief Information Officer. It is not simply a guy who's sitting on a computer and looking at technology. It's not someone who's sitting by himself and making the decision in isolation with the IT department. We need to think about the opportunity for Chief Information Officers to play a key role in the organization and ensuring that the outcomes we would like to go and get happening are actually happening. They need to move from being technology managers to being business executives that look at their business, look what the business needs, and try to action accordingly. They need to move from being an order taker from someone like an IT department to being a strategy shaper. Yeah, this is a great opportunity. Let's go and discuss it with the business and see what the business thinks to be able to get the right outcome. Let's basically move from being a functional head of one particular area to being a business leader that engages with everybody, bringing all of these new ideas about potential innovations that are available out there that could go and really shape how we need to go and really operate as an organization. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, guys. Now, we have a final exam coming soon. I want you all to do very well in the exam, and I want you all to pass the subject. And I want you all to come to my classes and work hard and listen to me, including to come and start doing your presentations this week, including to be able to go and come next week and listen to me in the lectorial. I'm going to give you some homework to go and do at home, including bringing that homework and bringing it to the classroom. And let's start discussing some of the work you guys are doing. I'm going to summarize for you a number of slides that I believe are important. They won't be, obviously we have around 60 slides per week. So that's basically like 600, 700 slides. I think overall I've put like 60 slides or something for you. So it's not, I didn't really put way too many slides. I tried to go and summarize things for you in terms of the most important things that I believe will help you to go and do well in your exam. But the big mistake you do is if you don't attend my classes. So please make sure you message all your friends and tell them to come to the classes, especially this week and next week, where we finish all the presentations and we make sure you are very well prepared for the final exam to go and do well and pass the subject. The exam is worth 40%. There are 5 questions. Each question is worth 8 marks, and there are long answers expected, and there are more than one section of questions sometimes that you need to go and answer. I would want you to go and attend next week to get trained on how to do well with the exam, but I'll do my best to go and guide you. If you're coming to the class, don't go and rely on a recording. Please come to the class so that I can guide you to the best of my ability to help you get the right outcome. I will also be communicating how we can basically go and engage together in the future and what I would like to go and really help achieve for you guys in the future. So please make sure you come and attend, and let's try to go and work together to help you get the right outcome. I want you to go and read chapter 12 and start preparing for the final exam. And I want to say thank you very kindly for all your hard work, your effort, your dedication. I very much appreciate it. Is there anyone who want to ask me anything before I let you go for today? Any questions at all? No worries, guys. Thank you very much for all your hard work. I look forward to seeing you very shortly and to helping you to be able to get a good outcome. All the best, guys. Thank you very much for your hard work.